Okay, welcome back again to some Wargame Red Dragon action. It's going to be a 3 vs 3 on the map. Another D-Day in Paradise. And yeah, we've actually played on this map at least once before. It's a pretty good map still. Allows for both naval, air and land to play all over. Bit of varied terrain, a bit of open terrain here and there, mountainous terrain, urban sectors, rivers for boats to go through. Little lake even, little sea over here. Yep, this map has got it all. Very nicely done indeed. So, yes, at the northern sector, at Charlie, we got myself, Lightman, for the sake of something or other, we'll just call him for the sake. And Kuriri, we're going to be playing as NATO this time round. And our opponents in the south, going to be playing as Pact, and we've got Nemesis, Neo Printer and Warhog. What if you meant to say Warthog, maybe in reference to the A10, but whatever. In any case, battle lines are being drawn up. Looks like I'll be getting these 2 points. Skyrim's going to go for Bravo, Core is going to go for Alpha, and hopefully going to be handling Naval. And well, there you go. We'll see what happens. And yeah, this match is also going to be pretty noteworthy because of the fact that I'm going to be using the Anzacs, just the Anzacs on their own, for this particular match. And yeah, they're actually very formidable, especially their infantry. So the Anzacs, that stands for Australian New Zealand Army Corps. Anzac, and Anzacs being the plural, of course. And yeah, they're actually pretty good, as you'd expect them to be, of course. Especially their infantry, very tough infantry, as they would be. And yeah, apart from that, I mean, they've got solid mid-tier tanks, which, yeah, well, aren't that bad, but still. And yeah, they've also got some pretty good light vehicles. Planes and helicopters aren't too bad either. So yeah, overall a pretty good faction. Basically, their main strength lies in their infantry, especially in their basic infantry, actually. Their diggers are, from what I can tell, they're the only basic infantry, 10-point infantry that is, in the entire game that gets close quarter combat LMGs. And yeah, of course, I'm prefacing that just by saying, you know, from what I can tell, because I haven't looked at every single infantry unit with a fine-toothed comb. So from what I've seen, they seem to be the only infantry units. Basic infantry unit with close quarter combat LMGs, so that means they actually can function pretty well in a close combat assault role, should I say, not assault role, assault role, and yeah, they're just generally pretty good infantry in general, actually. So I think I've repeated general a few times there, but what can you do? In any case, the game has started. Got let's see, looks like a sort of combination of units for Warhog. Looks like he's just going for a general pact. We'll just call him that. Neo Printer going for pure USSR, and Nemesis is going to be going for NSWP, basically. So the non-pact guys, basically. Yes. There you go, very nice. So NSWP, non-Soviet War Pact, maybe? I don't know. Because it's meant to be Warsaw Pact. NSW Warsaw. Oh yeah, that's right. It's because of the way that they order the words. It's a little bit different to English, I think. At least that's what I'm assuming the reason for that is. But anyway, whatever. Dear me. Skyrim. Did he actually spot those ships? I should have actually checked his vision before that plane left. I'm assuming he did actually, as he did put the attack order there. And yeah, already we do have some pretty significant ships for Nemesis and for Warhog. So single Luda, Sovremye, Hujoins, Moskits. Yep, getting the whole shebang coming in, ready to assault us. Although, at the same time, we do actually have some... Okay, wait a minute, is that... I think we had the train clipping there for a second. Can I actually get that to happen again? Oh, yep, I think we got it to happen again there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, not bad. Not just restricted to open source games, eh? very nice. But anyway, that aside, yeah, we do have our own recon infantry ready to spot anything coming in, so we'll keep a careful eye on that. And our opponents are, well, basically just going with pure ground support. And yeah, no helicopter infantry or anything like that. My Chinooks, I probably should have just kept them in reserve, to be honest, because yeah, now they're just going to get shot to pieces, and basically they're going to be accomplishing nothing. I mean, maybe sending one or two forward just to probe would have been alright, but sending all of them in like that... I mean, granted, they're relatively cheap helicopters, but yeah, they usually don't want to throw stuff away, even in the Conquest game mode. You've still got resources and all that to worry about. Speaking of worrying about resources, actually, our opponents might be in a bit of trouble in Gulf, actually. Challenger Marksman's going to get destroyed, actually. These tanks are actually going to be driving completely over the hills, bizarrely enough, and Sassers should do a great job. Actually, are they the Anzac infantry? Yep, they are, actually. Oh, okay, Skyrim, actually. Is he playing as Anzac as well? Purely Anzac? Let's see. Okay, well, this guy's playing as Britain. Corey, yep, playing as Britain. And, okay, yep, so it looks like, for the sake of Skyrim, is playing as the Commonwealth in general, while, sake of Skyrim, and Corey is playing as Britain, or UK, whatever. Sounds good to me. At the same time, yeah, these assassins should be able to do quite a bit of damage, although, never mind, they've actually taken plenty of damage, at least these guys have, actually getting panicked. BMPT is actually going to wreck them when it gets into range. And yeah, these guys kind of exposing themselves. They should have just gone straight into the structures, actually. Yeah, should have gone straight into the urban sectors, really, to get some cover, some actual cover, because forests, they don't actually offer cover. What they do is they offer concealment rather than actual cover, while urban sectors offer both. Rather important distinction, but oh well, at least they got some Sassers here. Nothing in India at all. Strange enough, no one is actually trying to claim that to all the buildings that are near that, apart from my single Sasser squad. That might change though, we do have more infantry coming in, and Delta providing a land route as well, actually, for more infantry to come in as well. Nothing sent over to capture Juliet, but I think I'm just trying to get some more infantry in here to cover first. I should be just fine, actually. We do have ATGM infantry as well as some anti-air guys, so there you have it, they've got it all. Same time, this Challenger is also trying to come into a bit of damage. Challenger Mark 1s, Challenger 2s, yeah, sending them unsupported, especially with all this other crap just waiting to pound them with their main guns. Yeah, probably not a good idea to send them out just yet, actually. We'll see what happens there. Opponents are amassing quite a fleet though, but at the same time, we've pretty much got them on the run, actually. I mean, I just need to send in a command vehicle to Juliet. India, we do have our opponents reinforcing that, but at the same time, I am sending in some infantry in as well. There's also some recon, so actually these guys might just redeploy. Sorry, they might redeploy to India as well, actually. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. And yeah, just plenty of forested areas in general, actually, for infantry to sneak through. It kind of gets annoying at times, but we'll see what happens, though. T-72 actually managing to take out my elite Sassers. So apparently they just did not have enough sass in them to actually do anything. Although they did manage to panic and almost destroy the T-72s, but the single T-72... What is it anyway? Okay, it is a slightly better T-72, but come on, man. They were bloody assaulting it within the goddamn forest, for God's sake. Oh, actually, speaking of which, I should have actually sent those infantry beforehand to cover that approach. And even then, actually, there's still a bit of a wide area that they can send infantry through if they really want to. Or at least, actually, well, there we go. Actually, I'm defending with the diggers here, defending that bridge. Although, I wonder. Well, actually, no, I don't think amphib I don't think amphib vehicles can actually. Yeah, I don't think they can actually go through this terrain here. This looks a bit too cliffy, to say the least. I'd have to go through the diggers or through here somewhere, where at the very least they should get spotted. Thank God for that. So it looks like the first forces from Warhog arriving in India, and it's going to be two crappy reckless rifle jeeps. Why not, eh? No recon incoming for whatever reason though, not really sure why. Usually they'd be one of the first things to send, well, apart from regular infantry anyway. Well, at the very least, I do have a bit of a foothold in this forest. They're going to establish a foothold here. I mean, if either team was more aggressive for India, they could have actually have taken it pretty freaking easily in the opening stages of the game. But, oh well, I suppose this is going to be a bit more even at the very least. Maybe going to keep things a bit more interesting. We'll see what happens, and we're actually ambushing their reinforcements. Although these challengers are a little bit spaced up, actually. Spaced up. They're a bit spaced out, actually, and the BMPTs, well, they do have autocannons, and they've also got frag grenade launchers as well, actually, so close ranges, they can actually deal significant amounts of damage, even to that Challenger 2, as you can see. Definitely want to engage these bastards at long range, that's for sure. Actually, I'm pretty sure, does it have an autocannon? Damn it, stop doing that. Yes, it does, actually. Damn it, stop doing that when it gets out of the range there. Okay, yeah, definitely has an autocannon and a regular gun as well, actually. And yeah, looks like I'm going to be digging in with my diggers. So there you go. Stop. Actually, I could just pause it, actually, fuck it. Instead of just saying stop that. Or stop doing that. But anyway, so I'll 102, let's just have a quick look at that. Okay, I thought it was a bit of a higher tier plane, although really shitty ECM. It's got 2 guns on it though. Okay, one of them does AP damage. Alright, I just wanted to check that out actually, I was a bit curious. Alright, well, let us keep on trucking then. Oh, and speaking of which, we actually do have... Wow, okay, these things can take a bit of damage. But anyway, we actually do have a bit of an attempted naval incursion by Neoprinter. What kind of name is that anyway? Neoprinter. So here's the one that can print. Don't know where I was going with that, but anyway. He's got a little stealth ship and all that coming in as well, actually, as you can see. Soundlessly moving through the waves. So what are these things exactly? They're transport ships. So he's got some sort of a artillery unit in it, I think. And it also comes with MRLS as well. They can only fire 2 at once, actually. Tram and Treat also coming in. Oh, okay. And that's, I think, where we actually learned that these ships cannot actually be targeted by ASMs, even though it is a fucking ship. But nope, apparently it doesn't count for one when it comes to ASMs. It's instead... Oh. Interesting. Anyway, it instead just counts... Well, it's just a laser... Not a laser. It's a... just the landing craft, basically, which doesn't count as a ship for some reason. Why can't I attack him? Because it doesn't count as a regular ship, apparently, which is kind of ridiculous, but oh well. Because even the river-going ships, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they can get targeted by ASMs, but at the very least, there we go, we do manage to finish him off, and he actually launches a hell of a lot more than 2 rounds per minute there, that's for sure. God, I don't know what the hell it was, God, my tongue getting tired again. I don't know what the hell is up with actually the developers putting in these strange reload rates that basically don't seem to indicate how quickly they reload at all. I mean, it's the same for some ASMs actually as well for ships. They say they take 10 seconds to reload, or that they have like a fire rate of 2 a minute or something like that as well. But in reality, the ships can actually fire several ASMs in quick succession before they actually need to reload or anything like that. So, God knows what the hell is happening with some of these reload rates. Yeah, well, what can you do, eh? What can you do? At the very least, these guys should get taken out, provided that I send in all my guys at once, and that is indeed happening. Unfortunately, my APCs here are not going to be able to do anything with just crappy MGs versus the ZSOs, or ZSDs, that's not actually an O, not a ZSO, but ZSD 90s. Also cannon, definitely doing plenty of damage against my crappy M113A1s. Diggers, on the other hand, should be able to do plenty of damage against the Zanshi 85s, and yeah, they're getting shaken, panicked, but not stirred. And no, I will never get tired of making that reference. Never. I'm sure you won't get tired of it either, but anyway. At the very least, we did take out whatever command vehicle was in Gulf, taking out their reinforcements, apart from the BMPTs. I don't know why Neoprinter decided to stop there, actually. Could have just kept on going. They seem to do a great job, even versus heavy tanks, high tier tanks, whatever, in close quarters combat, but nope, looks like he just wants to ignore them, and Just bomb some forest randomly. Why not? Okay, apparently that deselects them. Interesting. Still dropping a few more bombs here and there. Not doing anything though, he's not exactly getting the position right. And there we go, we actually do have our own Eurofighter Typhoons. Nice to actually have them for a change, rather than to have them used against us. Unfortunately getting a little bit too far forward for its own good, and crashing rather spectacularly, which we can see right there. Perfect. Actually, speaking of which, I don't think I really played with the speed too much in this game either, actually. I never really slowed things down. I've only sped them up to skip certain bits. Oh, what the hell, if I happen to see something interesting that warrants slow motion, then I think I might actually use that for a bit. See what happens though. Ouch. These flamers though, these Zenishtas are, well, especially in conjunction with the Zanshis, definitely doing quite a bit of damage. At the same time though, they are getting panicked and worried, so I'm getting calm again. So yeah, I mean, I should be able to defeat them by sheer numbers alone, but yeah, I definitely have to watch out for flame weapons. I mean, the diggers are good, diggers are very good, but they still don't fare particularly well versus flamers for cost. I'm still taking them out, funnily enough, and actually getting APCs in, that would be great versus flamers actually. Coming in a little bit too late though, which kind of sucks. Skreznet also coming in and sounding rather annoying actually with this little quad machine guns there or whatever the hell it had, and at the same time, yep, India getting a bit of a face-off happening there as well. Command helicopter actually being deployed by Warhog for some reason, and Skyrim just deploying some sort of a cheap CV there as well of his own. Actually do have a command vehicle coming in from Nemesis, and he is going to get by the Challenger Mark 1, Challenger 1 Mark 1, too far into the forest to be able to even see it most likely. So there you have it, we still do have +2 points coming in. This is going to only equalise things basically. Still kind of sucks, but we do have more score points than they do anyway, and we're continuing to put the pressure on them. Although, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that what I'll mostly be doing this game is just digging around Juliet, probing a bit here and there. I think I might be probing around India a bit, maybe sending some artillery there, and I think I'll be supporting the naval campaign as well. Although it's not exactly a naval campaign so much as it is just a naval Mexican standoff. Although we don't really have much of an actual... oh, Pohangs. Oh, okay, so... mostly just a ASM ship, sort of. Well, it has longer range on that. Kills is actually pretty nice. Yeah, well, a bit hard to distinguish some of these ships. We'll just call it a general gun ship, I suppose, a Pohang. But anyway, yeah, we don't really have much of a naval presence. In fact, our opponents, if they sent in their navy, yeah, they would pretty much wallop what we've got here. Yeah. So we'd of course have to send reinforcements, which we should be able to do relatively easily. We do have these SPS guys standing by. What the hell are they? British guys. So SPS, probably not a reference to the SBS channel in Australia. Be funny if it was actually, but anyway, that stands for probably Special Something Service. In any case, yeah, we've got plenty of recon, and can we actually see their... oh no, that's them. Sorry, that's them, should I say. Yep, actually we can see all their ships. I'll be damned. Yeah, we literally can see all their ships, actually. And we can see reinforcements, presumably, as well, actually. So if they do make a move, we should be able to reinforce relatively quickly. Our opponents have basically got hundreds of points just loitering by doing nothing. Although, wait, no, we do actually have... they're making a move, except this Lura. Apart from the Lura, they're actually making a move. My god, we might actually get some naval combat happening. Who to think, eh? Haven't seen that for a little while. And as for myself, yeah, just pretty much just digging in. I mean, I could make a bit of an attack happen. It'll be a bit tricky though. I mean, at the very least, I mean, these buildings basically mean that my infantry can just come in and, yeah. As long as they can get close enough with their close quarter combat LMGs, they should do a great job versus anything in these buildings. In particular, just these Iglas might have a bit of trouble against the FJBs. Although they don't actually have any machine guns at all, to say the least. So, there you go. A couple of Phantoms also coming in by myself just to provide a bit of anti-air. Phantom 2s, I believe, I think, are they actually the best planes? Not the best planes, but the best air sub planes that the Aussies can get. Not 100% sure, actually. Well, in any case, one thing's for sure, we do have a whole bunch of enemy ships to worry about, and a single tram intruder is probably not going to be able to do anything. It's even going to take some damage. Doesn't even damage anything in return. It does at least manage to get out of there just barely, though. And yeah, we're definitely going to have a work cut out for us. At the very least, we do have recon all over the place, so we do know exactly what these ships are doing, you know, what the composition of the fleet is. What can they actually see? Not too much. They can't see the recon infantry. They can see the Pohangs though. These guys are a little bit too far forward actually. Well, they've got no support actually, that's really the problem. Thankfully though, managing to intercept the current ASMs that are coming their way, but as more stuff comes in, it's going to get a bit trickier. Another tram intruder coming in for Skyrim. Yeah, managing to do a bit of damage to the Hoijan, I think. Everyone exhausting their ASMs as quickly as possible. Super Hornets also coming in for some reason. Why not, I suppose? I mean, I would prefer just to send in the intruders myself rather than getting the Hornets, but well, there you go. And yeah, being forced to retreat, Pohang is probably going to get destroyed and blow up spectacularly. In fact, let's get a nice little close-in view of that. God, I really wish these things had movement sound effects, and flaming sound effects as well, actually, for when they're damaged. That would be absolutely great. Yeah, well, Intruder still continuing to get in there, and unfortunately it does get shot down, basically without hitting a single goddamn missile. More Intruders coming out at the very least. We shouldn't be sending them in piecemeal like this. At least that one does actually take them out. And we've even got Milans actually firing across as well. And thankfully, yeah, they're firing across like that, and ATGMs cannot actually be intercepted by any of the kills systems. They're just too small, presumably, to get intercepted. Not entirely sure if that's actually how it works in real life, but whatever, that's how they work in either case. And yeah, I mean, even though the actual AP values of regular ATGMs are on the whole much less than ASMs, well, they can't be intercepted and they can still whittle down ships actually. These guys are getting way too close actually. Still launching a whole bunch of missiles at once. Really? Going straight for the Sovereign, and flying straight over other enemy ships to get to it? I mean, really, man? That basically means they're just going to, well, the missiles are just going to have plenty of time to get intercepted, basically. And that's exactly what happens. The Sovereign taking no damage. Our opponents have actually got naval superiority. As for air superiority, it's probably about even at the moment. At the very least, we do have all our points very much secured, although India is not exactly secured. Juliet is, on the other hand. Digger is basically holding everything along with some anti-air and ATGMs and such just to help out. We do have some incursions here and there, but apart from that, the real battle at the moment appears to be actually happening in the ocean, God forbid. Yeah, we definitely are trying everything we can against these ships, but it just isn't working, unfortunately. And yeah, they've actually managed to, using the Sovereign, they actually managed to neutralize Alpha, so nope, no more ships coming in from us for the time being. Although we can at least keep on sending in planes, because they keep using the air corridor. We've got the land corridor as well to work out with, or to work with, should I say. The Kahu, that must be an Aussie plane, or Anzac plane, whatever. Yep, just got a couple of ATGMs, pretty decent AP power at the very least, and they can't be intercepted either actually, so doing a bit of damage here and there, not too shabby. Need to get the hell out of there still. We just need to be careful with our planes, especially with the Sovereign coming in. I'm pretty sure it has, yep, it's got the longer range anti-air missiles to be a pain in the ass. And what do you know, we got more freaking transport ships laying down a rather thick carpet of smoke. Actually, a little bit overkill actually. They could have laid that smoke, the same amount of smoke over a larger front actually. Much larger fronts than that. But oh well, I mean, these guys have only got 2 ATGMs anyway, so it's not going to make much of a difference. And yeah, well, that's it. These guys actually... yeah, actually they can... oh no, actually, no, wait a minute. They have only got smoke launchers. They don't actually do any... yeah, they don't actually do any HE damage. But yeah, definitely being a bit overkill in the single location when it comes to smoke. Definitely could have, yeah, definitely could have spread it out a bit. And there we go. We're actually going to see some units being unloaded. Wow, an actual amphibious invasion. Who to think, eh? And they just seem to pop up magically. They don't even have to go for any unloading animation. They just literally pop up from midair, or from thin air, should I say? Not actually from midair, but yeah, there we go, just popping up. Well, what the hell? I mean, it's still an amphibious assault. There you go, and that wasn't present in the last game actually. So T55 AMV variant with the Bastion ATGMs, not too shabby. Still, yeah, landing there. They could do with a bit of support though. I mean, they should have also landed some infantry and some other supporting elements as well. Unlike in WALB or Wargame Ellen's Battle, there are many APCs, vehicles, and well, even certain SAM systems, as well as just AA in general, that are actually amphibious. Is a book amphibious? No, that's actually a poor example. But well, some vehicles are actually amphibious, and some, yeah, some vehicles, especially APCs, are amphibious, so it'd be perfect for just driving them across and just unloading infantry from there. I mean, these tanks, as you can see, are somewhat unopposed. We actually are dropping a few bombs on them and actually getting a few shells to the face for some of these Harriers, but well, they're still managing to survive though. Although Corey definitely needs to evac this one. He's probably not paying attention by the looks of things. And he's actually in a bit of trouble. Nope, he's actually still continuing the attack. This thing is actually trying to fire off its ATGMs. It just needs to get out of there, in my opinion. I mean, it's damaged, it's panicked. Just get out of there, for God's sake. Oh, well, in either case, the naval invasion is still continuing. My Kahu's probably going to die, or maybe not. He's actually going to evac by the looks of things. Yes, he manages to warp out, basically. Does a bit of damage to the Luda, or maybe to the Sovereignty, I'm not entirely sure. Sovereignty, in either case, is actually almost completely dead. And yeah, just a couple more missiles, even just a couple from the Kahu, will be all that's needed. But no, it's going to be sent towards the T-55s, which honestly are not that much of a threat, to be honest. I mean, I know that they're right in the middle of a major land route. We can still use this one though, and they're kind of right next to our little home base, but really we can just spawn in stuff from here and yeah, just take them out pretty easily. And in fact, that's actually what's happening right there. Sovereignty is continuing to escape, and yeah, we actually do have more transport ships coming in, this time with anti-air actually. So apparently these guys do not actually have artillery, which kind of makes sense actually. They actually have tanks. Apparently that's what the icon was all about. Well, in any case, more ASMs being sent in. I did not mean to zoom in like that. Luda's almost completely destroyed, and the Sovereignty, on the other hand, is actually managing to very slowly but surely steam out of there. Presumably the FOB can actually resupply it if it gets close enough to the FOB. I don't know if the FOB is that close to the ocean or not, but we'll see what happens though. Getting in some FJBs with helicopters, and yeah, actually slowly but surely tearing through the infantry here. This entire point... Oh no, wait a minute, these are opponents who are actually landing in the FJBs, not us actually, whoops. So yes, of course it makes sense that the entire point still belongs to them, to say the least. Sovereignty might actually live to fight another day. Damn. We've got full sight of it. We definitely know exactly what it is, exactly what's supporting it. A bit of a wasted opportunity, but well, what can you do, eh? Only a few minutes to go, and we've still got way more score points than our opponents. Opponents trying to make inroads on the east, given that's pointing north there. Yeah, trying to make inroads on the east, but really, it ain't working. They do actually have plenty of flamers though, so actually that could be a bit of a concern, to say the least. Yeah, a few flamers here and there. Not entirely sure if Anzacs get any flame infantry. I might check that afterwards actually. In either case, I actually do have... Oh no, these are just Phantom 2s standing by. And yeah, they need to get out of there. Damn it, what was... Oh, okay, it was a book. Book M1. A rather familiar anti-air piece there. Yes, it's going to be firing off missiles there. And yeah, these guys probably should be retreating. God damn, this thing's actually got a very long range. What is its range? Oh yes, 4.5 kilometers basically. Well, see how that works out. And we actually got a whole bunch of Hibneret, is that how you say Hibnerets coming in, Zord 2325s with, well, basically not too bad when it comes to anti-air. At the same time though, they don't really have anything to support. I mean, if they were sent alongside the tanks, that would have made a bit of sense. If they were sent with the tanks, in particular the T-55s, those tanks. But yeah, just on their own, it doesn't really make much sense. I mean, maybe these guys are still getting used to amphibious assaults. I mean, God knows I don't think I've mounted much when it comes to amphibious assaults myself. But usually, I mean, it's just like any other assault really. You have to make sure that you got balanced forces. And speaking of balanced forces, we actually do have some actual ships coming in. My God. Chamsuri is coming in to intercept the ASMs, and just in the nick of time as well actually. They're starting to really stream in a bit by these Hujains, but yep, all the ASMs are getting intercepted. Hatsuyuki using up a couple of ASMs as well. Don't think it actually did anything though. Just follow the missiles and yeah, not doing anything at all, getting intercepted. Some ATGMs are... I thought some ATGMs are firing, maybe not though. Well, in either case, we have ASMs firing off instead and yeah, blowing up one of the Hujains I believe. The other one is at pretty critical health. Could get blown up by a couple of ATGMs. We'll see what happens though. We actually do have some Kahus for myself and Cody, and we're probably going to be sending them in to destroy them. Maybe. We'll see what happens though. A couple of Su-22 M4s coming in as well. I think they're... what are these things? Oh, okay, they're just AGM equipped aircraft basically. There's these Hibnerets. Yeah, a little bit too little too late basically. Don't know what the hell it was doing there. At the very least actually they will be able to intercept the Haikus. Nope, not even then. Not the Kahus, should I say, not the Haikus. That's Japanese. Yeah, not even able to intercept the Kahus at all. Speaking of Kahus, got craploads of them coming in. Finally sending in some of my own. Taking out the Huijan with one and damaging the Yukings with the other actually. Well, actually this is a very audacious maneuver by Neo Printer. Unfortunately it's going to be a little bit too little too late. Sending in all those ships there. Usually you don't want to form them up that close to the enemy lines, basically because they're just going to come in one by one. And forming them up that close, well, they're liable to get destroyed piecemeal before they can successfully form up. But we'll see what happens though. Actually no, we won't see what happens because the time is about to run out. So yeah, I mean one thing I could have done a bit better is maybe try to harass Kilo or India a bit better rather than just sit back basically. Definitely took quite a few losses there, which kind of sucked, but what the hell, held my end. Got in some ships of my own. If the game kept on going, God knows what would have happened actually. Might have had a titanic naval struggle or something like that. And well, there you go. Another D-Day in paradise. Definitely good for naval assaults, amphibious invasions, provided that they're executed properly. Can be pretty powerful to say the least. But there you go. Till next time, this has been Dame Didovich signing off.